Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Skywind007. On today's episode, we're going to be looking at this right here. This is the latest version of the UltraPro Universal Remote. So let me go get the older one just for reference. So this is the older one, which came out real nice. So there was nothing wrong with it. But today we're going to look at this. So we're going to see if it's any good, and we're going to see how to set up everything, how to program your TV, and we'll see if there's anything wrong with it. So I did get this for free, but I'm still going to be objective about it. So let's open it up. Okay, so here are the codes. I am going to put the codes at the end of this video, so if you're looking for a code, just stay tuned, or you can just skip to the end of the video, and here are the instructions. So in the packaging, you also get it says soft blue LED. We're gonna see how good that is. You do require, let's see, AA batteries, which are not included. So you will need those AA batteries, and that's it. So let's go get some batteries. Okay, so here are the batteries. So to install them, you just slide this like that, very easy, and plug them in. Very easy. So that spring goes to the negative part of the battery. So that's fairly universal. And there you go. So let's see that blue light that they claim. Ooh, you got to turn off the lights. So let me turn off the lights. Okay, so the lights are off. Nice. Let me turn off those lights. Okay, so that does look good. So it lasts only a few seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about 6 seconds. But I think that's helpful. Okay, so let's turn on the lights. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is program this remote. I have dimmed the lights so that you can see how the keys light up. So let's say that we want to program a TV and we know we have the code for it. Let's pretend that that code is 1234. So to program this remote, you would have to go here and press and hold the setup key. Press and hold. And you're going to see the power button light up. Once that happens, we're going to select a button to assign to that TV. I'm going to select TV. It could be anything. And you're going to see that flash once. Once that flashes, you enter the code. Let's pretend we said it was going to be 1234. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you see this light turned off by itself. That means that our TV is ready to work with this remote. So let's do that again just for practice. Let me turn off this light. So you press and hold the setup key. Press and hold it. So this turns on. So select a button for your device. Let me select DVD, for example. You're going to see that flash once. And now we have to enter a code. Let's say 4, 3, 2, 1. And now it turned off. So that means it's ready. Everything's set up. And now it's just a matter of going to the TV or whatever that device is and testing and making sure that everything works, or at least most of it works. And I saw in the comments on my other videos that a lot of people will put in a code and it turns on the TV and it can turn it off, but it doesn't do anything else. That usually means that you used a code that's not complete. You have to try another code. You'll get several codes over here. Every brand will have several codes. Some of them will be partially functional and others will not. but you want to go for the best code. So just keep trying until you have a code that makes this operate everything on that TV or whatever that device is. Okay, so let's review what we just did with the lights on. I had to dim them just so that you can see how the keys light up, but let's go over that. So if you want to program a TV or any device and you have the code, the first thing you do is press and hold the setup key right here until this lights up. Once that lights up, you have to assign a button to that device that you're trying to program. We did TV. As an example, it could be any of these buttons over here. And you're going to see this flash once. Once that happens, you enter the code. I did an example code of 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you press the last key, you're going to notice that this red light over here goes out, and that means that your remote is ready for use, or at least that code has been programmed. So the next thing you want to do is test the TV or whatever device you're programming and make sure that it completely works, or at least most of the functions are working. If all it does is turn on and turn off, and then the volume key and the channel and everything else doesn't do anything, you're gonna have to go back to your code list and try another code. Okay, so now let's go to a TV and let's see how that works out. Okay folks, so we are in front of our TV and we're gonna test the code for this TV. So the first code I wanna test just for practice is 1, 2, 3, 4. So you press and hold setup. Press and hold setup. This lights up. So select a button for the TV. I'm going to say TV. And now I'm going to press 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That light goes out. So let's see if that'll turn on the TV. And of course it's not going to. So now let's try the real code. The real code is 0131. So let's do that again. Press setup. Press and hold setup. Red lights turns on. Press TV. Flashes once. Press 0131. 0131. So the light goes out. So now we got to test it and see if it's programmed correctly. So that's going to turn blue. So let's power it up. And sure enough, it turns blue. And the screen is going to turn on in a moment. It takes a while. But here we are. And now once it turns on, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily that's the correct code. You want to test and see if that all the functions are working correctly. So for example, try the volume down, volume up, and you can try channel. For example, the channel is changing right there. And you can try anything else. Try the menu key, make sure it turns on. So that's good if you can get to that point. Get out of there. Okay, so we have the right code. So let's go back. Okay, the next situation that we have is that you have a remote, this remote, you have a device, but you do not have a code for that device. So you want to use auto code search. That's when you have a device and you do not have the code because you could never figure it out, or you lost the code booklet. So I'm going to do this right now with the lights dimmed down so you can see which keys glow. But later I'm going to turn the lights back on and we're going to do that again. So let's program our device that we do not have a code for. So the first thing you want to do is press and hold the setup key. Press and hold. You're going to see that this lights up. So now we want to assign a key to that device. Let's pretend it's a DVD. So let's press it once and you're going to see that flash once. So the next thing you want to do is send 10 codes to that device. To send 10 codes, you press this right here. and it's sending 10 codes. Of course, you have to point it to the device. If the device reacts, you're gonna have to see if the device reacts. Let's pretend that the device did not react, so let's send another 10 codes. And let's send another 10 codes. Let's pretend that the device did not react. Of course, you have to be pointing at the device. And let's pretend that the device did react. It either turned on or off. So now we want to find out which of those 10 codes works. So we're going to press the volume up key, and it's going to send one code. Let me cover. And let's say that the device did not react, so let's send another code. Let's pretend that the device did not react, so let's send another code. Let's pretend that the device did not react, so let's send another code. So let's say that the device did react this time. So to finish the process, once it reacts, we know the code is correct. So to finish the process, we press that same button that we had before. And the red light goes out, and that means that your TV is now ready to work. So what you want to do right now is test your TV and make sure that that code is working. So now let me turn on the lights. And let's review what we just did. So again, you have your remote, you have a device, you do not have that code for that device, but you want to set up your remote for that device. So you press and hold the setup key, press and hold. So this is going to light up. Once that happens, you have to choose a button for that device. It could be any of these buttons. For example, TV, you press it and you're going to see this red light flashes once. Once that happens, you want to send 10 codes to that device. So you press this once and it's going to start flashing. That red light is going to start flashing. That means it's going to send 10 codes. If the device does not react, send another 10 codes. So you press once again once and it's going to send another 10 codes. You're going to see this flashing and you're going to repeat that process again. If a device did not react, press it again and send another 10 codes until it reacts. Once it reacts, you want to go back and find out which of those 10 codes work. So you're going to be sending one code individually. To do that, once it reacts, you press the volume up key once and it's going to send a single code. If it doesn't react, just keep doing it. Press volume up again. If it doesn't react, keep doing it. Press volume up again. Doesn't react, keep doing it. Press volume up again. If it reacts, you want to finalize the process because that means that you have the right code. So to finalize the process, you press the button that you initially assigned to that device. We did a TV, for example. You press that and the whole process is finalized. So that's how that works. So let's go to a real TV and let's see how that works out in real life. Okay, so now we're going to try the auto code search because we have a TV, we have this remote, but we do not have the code. So to set it up, you press the setup key, press and hold. So that light turns on. So select a button for that TV or that device. I'm going to select TV. It flashes once. So now we're ready to send 10 codes. So let's send the first 10 codes. Let's see if it'll turn on the first try. So it's sending 10 codes. Nope. So let's press again. Nope. So let's send another 10 codes. Let's send another 10 codes. Another 10 codes. Don't give up. Keep sending 10 codes. There we go, it turned blue. So that means it's turning on. So we're not done yet. We sent 10 10 codes and one of them is the right one. So now we've got to figure out which one is the correct one. So let's send individual codes to see which one it is. So press volume up once and it has to turn red. The TV has to turn off. So let's send another individual code. Let's send another one, another one, another one, another one, another one, another one. There we go. So the TV turned off and that light turned red. So that means that we have the correct code. So the last step is to press that same key that we used the first time. So I used TV. So I'm going to press it again and we are ready. So our remote is now programmed. So let's test it. Power on and it turns on. Takes a while to come on. So now let's test everything else and make sure that the volume works and everything else works. So volume works, channel up, channel down. So that's all the different channels. Let's go to menu. Let's try to change the channel. We can type it in like that. So that works. So everything seems to be working. Let's turn it off. Okay, so that was good. So let's go back. Okay, so one of the interesting things that I found out about this remote is that it can program a vintage TV from 1999. This is a cathode ray tube TV, CRT, which I bought from Circuit City back in 1999. And it's a Quasar brand. So I did look up the Quasar brand here, and it had a lot of codes. I tested them all, and the one that actually worked was the last one on the list, the 5201. So just for a little bit more practice, let's reprogram that. So you press and hold the setup key until this lights up. Now select a button for it. I'll select I'll just say TV again. And now let's type in the code. It's 5201 5201. And now it's set up. So now we just got to test it and see if it's actually working. So let's power it up. And it's coming very slowly, but it is coming. So let's see, let's go to menu. Here's our menu. Let me back the camera up a little so you can see. And you can navigate around if you want. You can change the language if you want. Spanish, bonjour, French. Let's leave it in English. And it does allow you to access the menus. For example, this used to have, you can select tuner. Whoops, I did that wrong. Let me go back. You can select line or tuner and so forth. And that's how that works. So let's get out. And this is the Roku. This right here, this is not a channel. This is just a Roku. Now, if you want to change the channel, you really can't on this TV because it's an analog TV. So this TV will not let you change channels until you program the channels. And since you can't program the channels because the analog signal got discontinued back in 2011, you can't do much with that anymore. But you can still watch Roku and maybe a DVD if you want, or Netflix. YouTube, CNN, France 24, all the red box. So it works. And by the way, this is the original one right here, which I still have. And let's power it down. Okay folks, so it is review time. So we're going to practice the two programming options. The first one is the one where you have the code, and the next one is the one where you do not have the code. So if you have a code and you want to program this to your device, press and hold the setup key, which is right here. Press and hold. This turns on. Select a button to assign to that device. I'm going to select TV because that's the most common device. You're going to see that flash once, then enter the code. Let's say 1234, 1234, and you're going to see that light goes out. That means that your TV has been successfully programmed to that code. So now it's just a matter of going to your TV or whatever device you have and test it. Now let's do the other programming option, the one where you do not have the code. So for that, you have to press and hold the setup key. Press and hold. This turns on. Select a button to assign to that device. Let's say TV. You're going to see that flash once. And now we have to send 10 codes to that device. So let's press. And it's sending 10 codes. So let's pretend the device did not react. So let's press again. Sending another 10 codes. Let's pretend that the device did not react. So let's send another 10 codes. So let's pretend that the device did react this time. So now we got to find out which of those 10 codes is the one that actually works. So let's send one by one. Let's press volume up. So the device did not react. So let's send another code. Device did not react. Let's send another one. It didn't react. Let's send another one. So now let's pretend that the device did react this time. So now we want to finalize the process because we have the right code. So press that same button that you pressed the first time that you assigned to your device, which is in my case TV. And now we're ready. So now your remote is successfully programmed to that code. So you can just go to your TV and make sure that everything works. Now I know at this point a lot of you are already getting ready to leave and click away, but there are a few more things you might want to know about this remote. And picture this situation. You have used the auto scan, the auto code search to get this to pair up to your TV. And when you do that, you can set it up for your TV or whatever device, but you won't know the actual code, and let's pretend that you want to know what that code is. And you can actually identify it. There is an identification function. Let's see what it's called over here. It's called code identification. So let's first, we already programmed this to 1234. So let's identify and see how it comes out. So in order to identify a code, you go to here, press and hold setup, and then you press the device where that code is located. For example, TV. You're going to see that flash, and then the next thing you want to do is press enter, and then to find out the first code, you press the key number 1, and then you're going to see this flash a number of times, and that'll tell you which number that is. For example, if it flashes 3 times, that means it's 3. And then you want to identify the second code, so you press 2, and this is going to flash however many times to correspond to that number. For example, if it flashes twice, that means it's code number 2. And then press 3, and then maybe it'll flash 5 times, that means it'll be 5. And then press the last code, 4, and it'll flash whatever that number is. If it flashes 4 times, I mean it's number 4. So now you have that information, and now you press enter to get out. So let's try it. So remember, we have in this remote right now, the code is 1234 in there. So let me dim the lights. So press and hold the setup key. And now press, you're gonna see this turn on, and now press the button where that code is located, so it's TV. You're going to see that flash once. So now press enter. You're going to see that flash once. So let's find out the first code. So let's press 1 over here. So it flashed once, so that means it's a number 1. So let's find out the second code. So let's press 2 down here, and it flashed twice, that means it's 2. Let's do the third one. So let's press 3 over here. So it flashed 3 times, so that means it's 3. And the fourth one, let's press 4 right here. So it flashed 4 times, so that means it's 4. So let's do another number. Let's do a let me program this to 4321, the reverse, and we're gonna identify that again. So to get out of this mode, press enter, and you're out. So okay, so I reprogrammed this remote off camera to 4321. So let's identify it. So press setup, press and hold. Press the button where that code is, let's say TV. Now go down here, press enter. And let's find out the first code. It should flash 4 times. So press 1 over here. Yeah, so that's the number 1. The second one should flash 3 times. Let's press number 2. Correct. The third one should flash twice. So let's press 3. And this last one, number 4, should flash only once. So let's press it, number 4. And it flashed once. So let's get out of here. So press enter. So now you know that the code is 4321. So that's a very interesting feature. You might find it useful. It's not essential. The most essential thing is to program it either with the code or with the auto code search. So another cool feature about this remote is that it has a master volume function where you can set this rocker right here to control only one device regardless of where you are in this remote. For example, if you are on DVD function, on DVD mode, and you want to control the TV volume, you can set up the master volume for TV, and it'll always control the TV regardless of where you are. You might want to do that if you have a sound system, like a surround sound system. This will always control the surround system, even if you are on TV. So it won't touch any of the other volumes. So to program that, you have to go over here to setup. You press and hold setup, and then you select the button that you want to assign the master volume to. So let's pretend it's TV. So you press TV, and then you press once the mute button over here, and then you press once the volume button over here, volume up, and you're going to see this flash and it'll go out. So that means it's set up. So if you want to disable that master volume function, you do everything the same basically, except the last step will be, instead of volume up, it'll be volume down. So you'll be pressing and holding the setup button until this lights up. Then you select the button where that master volume is assigned to. Then you press the mute button, and then you press volume down, and that'll disable that. So let me dim the lights, and we're going to test that. So again, press and hold setup. So this turns on. So let's assign the master volume to TV. So it flashes once. So now press the mute button. It flashes once. And now let's press volume up. And then you see it flashes and then it goes out. So that means that now the master volume is assigned to TV and it's active. So now let's disable the master volume. So let's do that again. Press setup, press and hold. This lights up. So press the button where that master volume was assigned to. In our case was TV. It flashes once. Now press the mute button. Flashes once, and now press volume down, and it flashes and then it goes out. So now that master volume is disabled. So that's I think that's interesting, could be useful. So that's what you have. So that's pretty much everything else that we have in here. I don't see anything else to talk to you about other than the fact that this remote does have a decimal for sub channels. For example, if you want to go to channel 84.7, you do have that decimal. So that's interesting. It's not essential. And this remote can control different modern devices, like streaming devices. And it has a lot. Definitely it does have a lot. So it's easy to use. I like the glow. So I have no complaints. So having said that, well, I think I do recommend it. It has everything except one thing. It's missing one thing, and that's the remote to remote identification. Some universal remotes will have a remote to remote identification where you can identify the signal from an existing remote. So that means that you actually have to have that existing remote. It cannot be lost, and then you can just identify each key, and you can assign it to wherever you want. So I find that to be usually very complicated to do, and it's like learning computer language. All the buttons you have to do it in the right order, but it does allow you to compile everything into a single remote. So you'll have your TV, your VCR, sound system, your stereo system, video system, even your fan. I remember I had a fan that had a remote, so I managed to assign the fan to my remote so I could control it from my remote. So that's the one function that this does not have. So if you're looking for that, it's not there. So the last thing I want to do is show you all the codes. I'm going to put them on screen so you can see, in case you lose the packet, you'll know what it is. So let's look at them. Okay, so here are the codes. I'm going to start with TV. So pause whenever you see your brand, just pause and take a look at your codes. Again, we are on TV right now. So what you are looking at is TV. Okay, so that ends TV. Okay, so now let's look at DVD. DVD continued. We're still looking at DVD. Okay, so that's the end of DVD. Okay, so now we are looking at Blu-ray player. Now we are looking at streaming media player. Okay, now we're going to soundbar. Now we're going to be at cable, satellite, DVR. Okay, digital converter box. HD TV set-top boxes. TV DVD combo, and it continues over here. TV VCR combo. Continues over here. TV VCR DVD combo. DVD VCR combo. Continues over here. VCR. HTIB home theater in a box. Never even heard of that before. Continues over here. Audio. Continues. Home automation. Media center PC. Game. HDMI. So that is it. Thank you for watching, subscribe, and thumbs up.